3, 2, 1.
That, but bro, Tottenham looking like they're gonna finish 8th right now, bro. What are you making of what's going on at Tottenham, bro? Because it's bad.
I think Tottenham are in some serious shit, man. I think it's very underspoken about. What they're doing is not sustainable. Their performances and their purchases. Perisic was a short-term buy. Conte is a short-term manager. If you don't win trophies under a serial winner like Conte in domestic competition, obviously his cup record speaks for itself. In Europe, it's not great. Domestic cups, he picks up a couple things, but if they don't win anything under him, then wow, that just I've said it already. Like it's deep within the fabric. It's in the cotton fiber. It's in the crest. It cannot be changed. It cannot be altered. This is destiny. They are destined to fail on all counts. Do you know what I mean? And if they can't get a trophy under him, then give it up. And what's so great that I see from them is that they're not fully committing to Conte's plan. Conte doesn't want Jed Spence. Conte doesn't want 21-year-olds to develop and coach. The fact that Tottenham are kind of in this limbo of we want to bring in players for market value that we could potentially sell on and make money from, because obviously they're no Man City, they're no PSG, so they want to bring in some young players as well as they're half-assed in this, and you can't half-ass it with Conte. You either go the whole way and you bring Ashley Young in, or you don't. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not going to go the whole way, then there's no point doing it in the first place. Do you know what I mean? If they want to go and do this, development thing, young players, market value improvement, all that stuff, you go and get Poch back. Go and get Poch back.
But also buy good young players as well. Do you know what I mean? Jed Spence is a good player. However, he'd never played in the Premier League. That was a massive risk. They done the same thing with Ryan Sessegnon, and it took Sessegnon like 3 years, to get into the first team to play. Like maybe even longer than that, because they bought Sessegnon as a teenager. I think he was like 17 or 18 when they signed him, and he didn't start featuring for Spurs for years. He might even have gone out on loan. I can't remember. Did he go back to Fulham on loan? I think they bought him, and then
I think he went out on loan to a German team.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I believe he went out on loan
like that. Yeah, so he went
because I remember at the time with Ryan, he was linked with us. Do you know what I'm saying? He was linked with us. He was linked with Tottenham. He was linked with a few clubs, Premier League clubs, maybe even you guys. I believe he was linked with you lot. At the time, he was hot property, really, really, really hot property. Do you know what I mean? And even now, if people actually think back to the hype around what he was supposed to be, bro, like he's massively underachieved. So bringing in Jed Spence here, with no Premier League experience is crazy. I can't lie.
Yeah, no, I still feel like Conte should have been using Jed Spence because Emerson Royale has been trash, and Doherty's nothing special. And I saw Jed Spence, I think, play one game in a cup when he came off the bench, and he looked good. And it's like, it's not like as if the people ahead of him are like levels. Do you know what I mean? If Conte had a serious first choice quality right wing back, that would fair play, but he doesn't. He's using these unfortunately bums. You know what I mean? Like Emerson Royale is genuinely that bad. Like he's really, really shit. Like
he probably doesn't start for another Premier League team. He's not even better than Serge Aurier.
Bro, he does some wild shit sometimes. I'm just like, wow, you lot really have to put up with a lot. Like it's tough. It's really tough. So yeah, I think but I don't know what's gonna happen in that position for them. But I just think long term, they're the ones that are screwed the most because they don't have the guaranteed pull power without Conte there. Yes, they're in London, but Arsenal and Chelsea have got much more history and pull power than them, much more money than them. And it's like Newcastle on the up now. So that's extra competition. It was already tough enough with 6 teams. You throw Newcastle into that, you might not even be making
top 6.
Yeah, like it's that deep now. Obviously, there's gonna be an extra place Champions League wise coefficient and whatnot. But yeah, man, they're long term for them. If they don't pick up that FA Cup this season, I don't know what this was all for. Because I think he'll walk Conte at some point. I don't think he's gonna renew unless he's guaranteed serious spending. Levy looks like as if he's trying to be clever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Would you take Harry Kane, bro? Because I don't know. People have said, they think that Man United is the only club Harry Kane can end up at because of X, Y, Z. Me personally, I don't want him. because I think that his best days are behind him. And even though he does score goals, I just don't think stylistically he suits what we're trying to do. We're trying to play a high pressing game. We're trying to play an aggressive front foot style of football, and I don't think Harry Kane suits that. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I don't want Harry Kane. He will continue to score goals. I'm not disputing that. But me personally, if I'm trying to build a football club, I'm not taking him because the wages are going to be very high. He's injury prone as well. Yes, he does score goals, and he does not press, bro. Like he's just not the right profile of player. Like it's like you sign him, it's like when you sign Erling Haaland, yeah, you have to take them for you have to take the rough with the smooth with those kind of players. And I don't think that he's worth adapting the whole style of the football club to accommodate. I don't think he's that good, bro. He's already shown that his temperament ain't up there in the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I can't. If you sign Harry Kane at Manchester United, he has to be the main man that you focus your game around, or you're wasting him. And I don't think he's good enough to do that.
It's very difficult for me to sit here and say I wouldn't take him because look at the history I have with strikers. Do you know what I mean? Like he's actually certified. He guarantees you goals in this league. He's a very good footballer as well. He can pass the ball. He can drop deep. You know, he's actually someone that suits a possession-based system. I think my only gripe is the time spans don't align. If we were bringing him in and we were off the cusp of a title win, and we needed
like when we brought in Van Persie.
Yeah, literally when you brought in Van Persie. If we were on the cusp of a title win and we were bringing in Harry Kane to seal the deal, basically when I was like, oh yeah, missing piece, Lukaku. If it was that, but it's actually Kane. Yeah. Kane is actually the real missing piece. If it was that situation and we were going to go for a title challenge and we were ready to win right now, next 2-3 years, then I would take him. No doubts about it. I don't know about the price that I think 80 million, someone said. I think we're getting to a point where we can start bringing that price down just because.
50.
Yeah, I think we could start bringing that price down now. I think Tottenham, if they really wanted that cash, the last summer before Erling Haaland joined, I think that was the prime time to cash in.
Hey, fuck that. Tottenham, fuck that. So
they could have rebuilt their whole team. You know,
the 110 million.
They weren't winning shit anyway. I said it at the time. Get your, I know, you know, I know a lot of people say Man City didn't come with a serious offer. Maybe they didn't, but they could have got some serious cash for Kane and revamp their whole team because they need to revamp their whole team. Look at the centre backs. They're playing Tanganga, Eric Dyer's slicing the ball up and whatnot. They're struggling and they need balance. Look at Arsenal in a way as a template where you would say that there's no like, you know, there's no
superstar.
There's no superstar, but the team is balanced.
But that's exactly why I said I don't want Kane, because it's all about balance. Obviously, Man United is a bit different. We have superstars. We got Casemiro. We got Varane. Do you know what I'm saying? However, they're not any players that you would say that you need to build the system around, bro. Like they're pieces to, do you know what I mean? The system, they're different cogs in the machine. Like Harry Kane would be a focal point. Arsenal don't have a focal point. Do you know what I mean? And City do have a focal point, and City are struggling. They're struggling compared to what they would normally be doing, not struggling in general, because obviously people might take that the wrong way. But compared to what we're expecting City to do, when they signed Haaland and Alvarez, we expected City to be where Arsenal are.
Yeah. But City traditionally always start the season second half of the season. Yeah. So I still think City second half of the season will kick on properly now and step it up. But regardless, Tottenham would never sell to us anyway. They have a policy on that. When we tried to get Luka Modric,
they done a mad thing.
They done a mad thing. Modric was
done the same. Join. Yeah, they've done it with multiple players with you guys. They'll rather sell them abroad, or not sell them at all.
Yeah. So I think what Kane needs to do is run down his contract and pray to the high heavens, because he might get he might get the move he wants. He obviously wants to be in the Prem to beat Shearer's record. I think Newcastle is a shout for him.
Yeah.
You know, if he's not going this summer and it's a next summer thing, then Newcastle is a shout, because Newcastle, I think he suits them perfectly. Especially Alan Shearer played there, the history of it all. Proper number 9. The Geordies would love him. They're ambitious. They actually could probably win a trophy. You know, I actually think Eddie Howe's doing a brilliant job with the team he's got there. I still don't think their players are really that special, like the Willocks and the Longstaffs, but he's got a proper system in place. You throw a Harry Kane in there with a Almiron and a St. Maximum on either flank, with a Bruno Gomes just behind Joe Linton, it's almost perfect. So
yeah,
he kind of has pissed up his chance of maybe a blockbuster move because of signing that big long-term deal. But listen, this is why you don't do that with Levy. Levy is a prisoner of good things. This brother will hold you hostage. If you sign a big long-term deal, you're not going nowhere. He doesn't give a damn about your feelings. Loyalty doesn't mean nothing.